Welcome to the BioBalance Healthcast, episode 698. Vitamin B12 and brain aging.
BioBalance Healthcast features conversations about anti-aging medicine. Your host is Dr. Kathy Maupin, Medical Director of BioBalance Health and a leading expert in treating symptoms of aging. Dr. Maupin is the author of The Secret Female Hormone, the seminal work about testosterone replacement therapy for women, and Got Testosterone, the award-winning book for men that helps men choose the most effective and safe form of testosterone replacement. These books are available on Amazon or from Dr. Maupin's office at BioBalance Health in St. Louis and in Kansas City. Dr. Maupin's office is currently accepting new patients.
Welcome to the BioBalance Healthcast. I'm Dr. Kathy Maupin, and today I'm going to start the first Healthcast on vitamins. It'll be the first of a series of Healthcasts on vitamins and supplements. This is one of those subjects that you probably won't be able to talk to your doctor about because medical doctors are not trained in vitamins or nutrition or supplements or anything that has to do with preventive medicine and the vitamins and foods that you need to take into your body to stay healthy. Medical training is still all about acute medicine, something that happens immediately. You go to the ER, you've got a disaster, you need to get fixed. Something that is happening after you have not been very healthy for a long time, or it's just stuff happens. So today we're going to talk about vitamin B12 and brain aging. And vitamins were not talked about in my medical school class, yet my mother, who was an herbalist, she had me take approximately a handful of vitamins every morning. And that is as long as I was in their house, I had to take those vitamins. And she had to make sure I actually took them. I didn't understand why I took them. I didn't understand the benefit of it, but I now enjoy the benefit of what she made me do, which was stay healthy. I rarely was sick. I didn't have any kind of immune problems. I didn't have problems with my nutrition. I did have low thyroid, but that really didn't have much to do with my nutrition or my vitamins. It had to do with where I lived. I lived in Missouri, and Missouri is in the Goiter Belt, which means we don't have any iodine, and so a lot of people in Missouri have low thyroid. However, I have done my best since going to medical school to learn everything I can learn about supplements, vitamins, minerals, and other supplements such as glutathione that keep us healthy and that we can take over the counter. These are all things that are under your control. You can add vitamins to your diet or minerals to your diet and actually make yourself healthier and improve your immune system. But one of the things I didn't know for sure and hadn't seen any studies on it was the effect of B12 on your brain. Now, those of us who are aging are very concerned about aging well. We don't want to age with Alzheimer's. We don't want to age with Parkinson's or dementia. We don't want to age after we've had a stroke because it just makes the quality of life so much worse if we have had any of these things. Honestly, it takes the quality of life away. So the point of being able to live a long life is you should be able to live in a healthy fashion. Well, one of the most important parts of our body that we should be concentrating on is our brain. Our brain is key to our quality of life. You can't do much without it. So nowadays, our brain is under attack from the kind of foods we have learned to eat. When I was little, food was, your mom went to the store often. She brought home healthy food. She actually cooked it. Your mom stayed at home, and I'm not advocating women stay at home. I'm just saying somebody should cook. And you actually had a meal made from fresh food that had vitamins in it, had minerals in it, did not have preservatives, did not have chemicals in it that destroyed your vitamins. So now we have a whole new problem. We are eating food that does not have nutrition in it, so we do have to take vitamins and supplements. So when it comes to the brain, the vitamin that is most important for your brain is vitamin B12. All the vitamin Bs are very concentrated in grains, but grains are carbohydrates, and eating a lot of carbohydrates to get your vitamins is not the answer, because that will lead you down the path of diabetes. So when you go to the doctor and they may or may not check your vitamin B12 level, you could ask them to do that and see if you have enough vitamin B12 in your system. Then the vitamin B12 reference range is also kind of going to fool you and your doctor. The reference range is that line of are you healthy or not. It tells you whether the range that you should be in and supposedly to be healthy, but it's really a reference range that is meant to say, are you going to die without this vitamin? So it's the very lowest to keep you alive. So the lower number, like if you have vitamin B12 of 200, that's the very lowest number that you can have to stay alive, not to stay healthy. You should have the number be 400 and above. And vitamin B is a water-soluble vitamin. So if you had a very high level of vitamin B12 because you just took your vitamins and then they tested your blood, your B12 level may be really high, but that doesn't hurt you because your kidney removes what you don't use. So vitamin B12 is not one of the ones that you can take too much of. So vitamin B12 is important to know for you whether you have enough of it. But now we have a new study that came out. It was a very long-term study that came out from the Annals of Neurology. And they studied the effects of B12 on the brain. And they found that over a 20-year period, it was a very long study, that the people that had normal B12 levels avoided the diseases of aging, like dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. They did not have problems remembering things. They did not have problems with balance. They did not have problems with falling because their balance was good. B12 was the key to the brain's health and to keep people healthy and active and functional throughout their lifetime. People who didn't have it, who had the lowest B12 levels, were the ones that had all of those diseases that come with aging and having trouble with thinking, having trouble with balance, having trouble with just staying upright. So that was a monumental study. It should be on the front page. It won't be because it's about a vitamin, and the people that run medicine don't care about vitamins or prevention of disease. They just care about treating the disease you have. So what happens if you didn't take B12 and your B12 was always around 200, it was low, and you start to notice signs of dementia, or you start to notice signs of your memory going, or you start to notice signs of your balance going? What can you do? Well, starting to take B12 at a dose that will bring your B12 blood level up is not going to reverse it. So you have to do this ahead of time. But it can help stop the progression of it. So if you have anything like dementia is progressive, you start not being able to remember things, and down the line you don't know who you are. So it can help slow the progression of that kind of a problem. So the optimal level of B12 on the reference ranges should be 400 to 1500, but it is 200 to 800. So that's just so you know that when you look at your own blood work nowadays, they send you the blood work before I even get to see it. We aren't looking at the range that they have there. The next thing to know about B12 is that about a third of the Americans can't take regular B12. Regular B12 is called cyanocobalamin, cyano cobalamin. A third of us can't take it. it's very important that you know if you can take the regular B12 or not. If you don't know, to be safe, you should take something called methyl B12. It is pre-metabolized B12. People who can't take regular B12 can't activate it. They take it in their food or they take it in a pill. It goes to their liver and then it has to be discarded because it doesn't go get methylated in the liver to then go out and work. You need a methyl group on it, a little side chain to make the B12 work. Well, if your liver can't do that, and a third of the population's liver can't, then you're not going to be getting the B12 you're actually paying for as supplements and taking. You're not going to get that B12 to your brain or to any other part of your body. So you have to make sure you take methylated B12, methylated folate, that goes along with it. They both work together, but methyl B12 at the very least is important. So if you know that you have MTHFR, that's a gene mutation, or you know that you have symptoms of low B12, which we'll now talk about in a minute, and basically you're still taking B12 and your levels look good, your blood levels will still look good even if you can't use that B12 if you're taking B12. It doesn't tell you what your active B12 is, which is the methylated B12. That's not the test that anyone does unless they're doing research. So how do you know so you can be safe by taking methyl B12. That's all I'll say to that, because if you haven't been evaluated for MTHFR, then you should just be safe and take methyl B12 only. What are the symptoms of low B12? Well, you're going to be off balance. One of the tests I like to ask people to do is stand on one leg, don't touch anything, and see if you can balance on one leg for 30 seconds. If you can, your balance is probably okay. If one leg is stronger than the other, that's a whole different thing. But if one of your legs is strong enough for you to balance without holding on and have just one foot on the ground, your balance is probably okay. If you have new memory problems, some people always can't remember names or where they had dinner last night. That's just kind of, that's a variable between different people. But if your memory was always really good on everything and all of a sudden you can't remember anything, that's a sign. And you should have other tests besides B12, but the very basic test would be a B12 level. People who are going along and all of a sudden they have psychosis. They are schizophrenic. They develop a psychiatric disease that keeps them from understanding whether they're existing in reality. They exist in a whole different plane of thought. That's another sign of B12 deficiency. Usually the first shot people get when they go in to a psych ward is a B12 shot. It only works on 2/3 of the population because the other third needs a methyl B12 shot. Anyway, I can't fix everything, but I'd love to fix that. If you have nerve damage, in other words, if you have numbness in both of your hands, if it's one hand, it's probably carpal tunnel. If it's both hands, it's probably nerve damage. And peripheral neuropathy, hands or feet that are numb, your dexterity is bad, you can't do little things anymore. That's usually a lack of B12. And I've had lots of people come in and say, well, I've been told that I'm getting MS because I'm numb, my fingers and my feet are numb, and I feel like I'm having trouble walking because I can't feel the ground underneath me. And usually I give them a methyl B12 shot and I tell them to keep an eye on those things for the next week or two and see if they're better. And if they are, they don't have MS. They have B12 deficiency, and they probably are going to have to either take a lot of oral B12 or they're going to have to get a B12 shot every 2 weeks. That's really important to know so that you don't get diagnosed with the wrong thing. Doctors kind of forget about the vitamin problems. If a doctor tells you have megaloblastic anemia, you have a B12 problem. Megaloblastic anemia means that your red cells are very large. Why would that be a problem? Well, that's a problem because when they get down to your capillaries are very narrow. They can't get in there to deliver oxygen. So you get numbness and you get other things that you can't feel heat. You may burn yourself and not know it. So megaloblastic anemia means that your B12 is low. So you have to get B12 back, and the megaloblastic anemia should get better. But there are some things we do to ourselves that actually get rid of vitamin B12. One thing is, if you live a life as a vegan, you have to take B12 because there is no B12 from vegetables. B12 is only from animal products. It's another fact that I build my philosophy of. We were meant to eat animals. I'm sorry, I love animals, but we were meant to eat them. The other evidence is that we don't have molars all the way around like cows do. Molars are for vegetables, crunching vegetables and eating vegetables. Incisors, these teeth that are kind of sharp and incised, that's for meat. Two things that tell me we were really born to have animal products in our life. So if you're vegan, you have to take B12. You're not going to get it anywhere else. If you drink more than one highball, more than 2 beers, more than 1 glass of wine a night, you're at risk for having low B12. It wipes the B12 out of you. Alcohol is one of the worst things to lower your B12 level. Everybody who is a daily drinker should be taking lots of B12. Taking lots of it, if you don't use it, you'll just pee it out. If you drink that much, you're probably going to use up what you're taking as a vitamin supplement. If you get your blood tested and it's between 200 and 400 picograms per milliliter, then you're deficient in B12 and you need to take B12 to come back to normal and not have all these terrible diseases that happen to our brain as time goes on that we can't fix with just B12. Some patients take omeprazole or antacids every day. Antacids are good to prevent stomach cancer and reflux and cancer of the esophagus. Sometimes people absolutely have to have those. If you do, you need a B12 shot, methyl B12 shot, every 2 to 4 weeks because you're not going to absorb B12 through a stomach without acid. They lower the acid so low that many things that you would normally have broken down in your stomach don't get broken down because they need the acid to be broken down before they get to your small intestine. So it's like it overdoes it. There's no happy medium. Too much acid, not enough acid. So you have to be sure you get your B12 through a shot if that's the case. And lastly, there are some people who lose the ability to absorb B12 through the stomach. They lose a very small local hormone that allows B12 to be absorbed through the stomach lining. And if that's the case, and you take B12 all the time, you don't drink, you don't have any other issues that would make your B12 go down, but your B12 level is low, then you're going to have to take it a different way. You're going to have to take it as a shot. It is very important for brain aging in a healthy way that you get enough B12 every single day. It is not something that is stored in your body. It is not something that, like the vitamins A, D, E, and K, all of those are fat soluble. They are stored in your body. These are water soluble. B vitamins go in your body and out of your body every single day. They just pee out of your body. So that is something that you have to put into your regimen in that handful of supplements that I still take. Now I take them in the morning and at night. And so these are the things that you should think about when it comes to making sure you don't get dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, peripheral neuropathy. So what you should take away from this healthcast is that you should supplement with B12, methyl B12 optimally to prevent brain aging. Blood levels of B12 should be above 400, not above 200. that if you have MTHFR, genetic defect, then you need to be taking methyl B12 and methyl B vitamins in general. If you take metformin or if you take an antacid, you need to take more B12 or you need B12 shots. The dose of B12 should be about 5,000 micrograms a day. So that's the optimal dose. If you drink or take metformin or take omeprazole, you may need to take more than that. So 5,000 micrograms a day. I hope this helps you prevent any type of terrible illness that might involve your brain as you age. I'm hoping that just listening to this and following my advice will prevent you from spending days in the doctor's office or in a nursing home, God forbid. So please listen, please follow my directions so that you can be healthy.
Email your questions or comments to podcast@biobalancehealth.com. You can find the BioBalance Healthcast on iTunes and on YouTube. For more information about bioidentical hormone pellet therapy and other reverse aging solutions, visit biobalancehealth.com or call 314-993-0963. You can find Dr. Maupin on Twitter @Dr. Kathy Maupin and on Facebook at facebook.com/biobalancehealth.